Welcome to this, your lesson on how do we factor second degree polynomials of any kind. And this is basically like a review, revisited, because I did this before. So objectives, well, you read your objectives. This is what tells you what you should be able to do at the end of the lesson. So let's start with the mini lesson. All right, to factor any polynomials, we have to follow certain steps. The first thing you do is you try to find the greatest common factor, if there is any. It's not like every time you factor something you're gonna find a greatest common factor. No, sometimes you don't. The next thing is that x squared is found by multiplying x times x. So when I say what are the factors of x squared, you say x and x. All right, find two numbers that multiply get you the last member, and when you add you get the middle term. Sometimes it may vary, okay? So, but anyway, let's start with this. Example, factor 2x squared plus 10x minus 2. So first of all, I need to find the greatest common factor. So the GCF in this case is 2. And how do I know that? Easy. That is the largest factor that you can divide each term by. For example, between 2, 10, and 12, I can divide all of them by 2. I can divide 10 by 5, but not 2. I can divide 12 by 4, but not this. I can divide by 3, but not this. So then 2 is the only one that divides evenly into all of that. So greatest common factor is 2. So what do? Either you divide everything by 2. Okay? First you take the 2 out. Then either you divide everything by 2, like for example, 2x squared divided by 2 is just 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so that's 1x squared. Plus 10x divided by 2 is 5x, because 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay. So that is your greatest common factor, 2, and this is what you have remaining. So I divided by 2. Another way of doing it is the following. You could say 2 multiplied by what gives you 2x squared? Well, 2 times x squared gives you 2x squared. 2 times what will give you 10x? Well, 2 times 5x. 2 times what will give you 6? 2 times what will give you 12? 2 times 6. That's how it goes. Then you proceed to open the little parentheses. Okay? Now making sure that the 2, you always bring it down on the outside. All right, so let's factor. Factors of x squared, I said that there were x and x. Then it's as easy as pi. Look, now you find the factors of 6. Okay? So the factors of 6, don't write this down. I'm just giving you the example. Factors of 6 are 3 and 2 because 3 times 2 is 6. Now to check if it works, you need to get the middle term, so you're going to have to do the smiley face. So connect the extremes and connect the middle. So what do I get on top? I get 2x. Okay, so I get 2x. What do I get in the bottom? I get 3x. Question is, can I get a positive 5x? Okay, the purpose of the smiley face is to get the middle term. Can I get a positive 5x out of 2x and 3x? Yes, add them up. Remember, I said do not write this down. I'm just giving you the wrong example. Okay, so 3 and 2 gives you 5x. Excellent. But then again, last but not least, re-multiply these two numbers just to corroborate, to confirm that this will give you negative 6. If this is positive and this is positive, that means that this gotta be positive, like this, positive and positive. That's the only way you're going to get positive 2x and positive 3x. But when I multiply 3, positive 3 times positive 2, I get positive 6. I don't get negative 6. Guess what? That means that these are not the right factors. And that's why I told you not to write this down. Now we're going to get the right factors. Why did I do the wrong factors first? Because we learn from our mistakes. So let's try factor 6 and factor 1. 6 times 1 is 6. So okay, I'm not talking about the sign yet. Now let's do the smiley face again to see if we can get the middle term. The smiley face will always give the middle term. So on top I get I just get x. On the bottom I get 6x. How do I get positive 5x? Easy. Positive 6x minus 1x. Okay, that will give you 5x. And now, as I said before, to corroborate, so this 6 is positive and this is negative. Okay, negative 1x is negative. So let's multiply this to see if we get back the right last term. So positive 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Therefore, this is your correct factor form. All right? Good. So then again, here I wrote the answer for you just in case. All right? Something to remember, it says, remember to solve quadratic equations by factoring, okay? Just set the equation equal to 0. All right, you can see the examples on the wall in my classroom. All right, let's go on to the independent practice. And this is basically the way I want you to solve this problem, because I need you to explain to me, like if you were explaining to a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 12-year-old, 16-year-old, 40-year-old. All right, so explaining writing the process of factoring each polynomial. You're supposed to read it, but I'm going to help you out. So I'm supposed to factor 3x squared plus 6x minus 45. So what is it that I do first when I factor? Well, first I looked for a GCF and found out that all coefficients were divisible by 3. 3, 6, and 45. So I factor out the 3. See that? And now you could either divide the whole thing by 3, saying 3x squared divided by 3 is just 1x squared. 6x divided by 3 is just 2x. Let me see if I can just do this. Okay, good. 45 divided by 3 is nothing more than 15. Nice. Or you could go the other way and factor out the 3 and say, okay, 3 times what is 3x squared? X squared. 3 times what is 6x? 2x. 3 times what is 45? 15. Then you're right. Next, I realized that the expression inside the parentheses was factorable. So I proceeded to factor, okay, the factors of x squared, this right here, are x and x. Okay, so I opened the parentheses. Then, after this, I had to find the factors of 15. 15, remember, you find the factors of the last term. So I chose 3 and 5. I could have chosen 15 and 1, because 15 times 1 is 15. But then again, I'm not even reading, okay. But the problem is that if I use the smiley face method, I was not going to obtain the middle term, okay. So my final answer is 3 times, and then x plus 5 times this other binomial, x minus 3. See, that's how you explain it. Same thing here. Factor x squared minus 100. First, I looked for a GCF, okay, because that's the first thing you do, and found none. Then I proceeded to factor. The factors of x squared are x and x. So I opened the parentheses. After this, I had to find the factors of 100. So I chose 10 and 10. I could have chosen 25 and 4, but the problem is that when I use the smiley face method, I was not going to obtain the middle term, the middle number, which in this case is 0, because, and I continue, x squared minus 100 is the same thing as x squared plus 0x. Remember, there is no middle term here, so that must be 0. So x squared plus 0x minus 100. So my final answer is x minus 10 and x plus 10. Another way you could have done it is, since you have an idea of what perfect squares are, you could just take the square root of each. X squared of x squared, x and x, right? So because x times x is x squared. Square root of 100 is 10, because 10 times 10 is 100. And the middle term is 0, so you need a negative 10 and a positive 10, because then they cancel out, okay? So on and so forth with example number 3. So I'm going to give you a minute to read over number 3. And again, being cautious of explaining. That's the reason I'm doing this. All right, good. You read it? Now read this one. All right, cool. You read it. Now 3x minus 4 and 3x plus 4. Let us go on to this right here. All right, so I'm supposed to factor x squared minus 10x plus 21. So the first thing I do is, okay, so you could write like this. Okay, I need to find the greatest common factor. Guess what? There is no greatest common factor. All right, so I proceed to open the parentheses. So I do that. Factors of x squared, x and x. Okay, factors of 21. 21 is not a prime number, but there's only so many factors of 21. All right, so I have this. Then you need the smiley face in order to see if you can get the middle term. So connect the extremes, connect the middles. The extremes will get you 3x. The middle will get you 7x. Can you get a negative 10x out of this? Yes, so make them both negatives, okay? Negative 7x and negative 3x will give you negative 10x. Now, to make sure that these are the right factors, we remultiply these numbers. Negative 7 times negative 3 is positive 21. So these are the factors. Oh, nice. Okay. So there's no GCF, so I proceed to open the parentheses. Okay? Then you could say, for example, another way, the smiley face method yields or results the middle term negative 10. You see, like, you gotta like BS yourself through, through the problems. Just in case you made a mistake, you're still explaining what you're doing. So you might, rescue at least, 1 point. Oh my God, I forgot. Yeah. Okay, I got you. All right, and that's how it works. You could also say, I could have chosen 21 and 1 as my factors, but then when I did the smiley face, I would not get negative 10x. See that? All right then. Right here, factor x squared minus 64. All right, so the first thing is that you try to find the GCF. So you say there is no GCF, greatest common factor. Okay? So B, you could say, what else? Oh, I can write, okay, I can rewrite x squared minus 64 as x squared plus 0x minus 64. Okay? So factors of x squared are x and x. Now 64 is 8 and 8. You could do 32 and 2, you could do all that. But the thing is that when you do the smiley face method, what do you need in the middle? You need a 0. How can you get a 0? On top you get 8x. In the bottom you get 8x. How can you get 0x? Make one of them positive and make one of them negative. You could put the negative here and the positive here, it doesn't matter. Okay? And then you could just describe, write with your description. Like before, I can rewrite this as that, right? Then I proceeded to open the parentheses. I know that the factors of x squared are x and x. Okay, in other words, base yourself on the previous problems. Then I proceeded to find the factors of 64, which were 8 and 8. I could have chosen 32 and 2, but then when I tried the smiley face method, I would have not gotten 0x. See that? All right, so that you could do on your own time. Here, factor this. All right, I'm not gonna write all that. I'm just gonna do it for you, okay? I'll actually do it with you. So, factors of x squared, x and x. Factors of 6, 3 and 2. Why am I choosing 3 and 2? Because I already know. When I do the smiley face, I need a 1x. So I need positive 3 and I need negative 2. Positive 3x and negative 2x, that's 1x. All right? So once again, you start the problem the same way. First, I try to find the GCF, or you could do step A, there is no GCF. B, I open parentheses. C, factors of x squared are x and x. D, factors of 6 are 3 and 2. All right? Let's do this. But first, let me sharpen my pencil. Nice. All right. Factor x squared plus 3x minus 18. So, step A, there is no greatest common factor. All right. Step B, proceed to open parentheses. C, factors of x squared are x and x. Okay. D, factors of 18 are 9 and 2, or 6 and 3, or 18 and 1 if you want to. Okay? Then you say, you do the problem, okay? So let's see what's up. So I got the factors of x squared, x and x. Now, I'm gonna use, you could write, I will use 6 and 3. Okay? Why? Well, because when I do the smiley face, I get 3x and 6x. And my middle term is supposed to be a positive 3x, so positive 6 and negative 3. Then, to confirm, okay, you gotta write smaller, okay? I'm just writing bigger so you could see it. Then, to corroborate or to confirm, I just multiply these two numbers again. Positive 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. So therefore, it checks. So this is the factor form. Okay, last question. It says, how do you factor a trinomial completely? How do you turn it into an equation? And how do you go about solving the quadratic equation? Well, everything, all the answers that you seek are in this handout. You could just refer back. So, how do you factor a trinomial completely? First, you look for GCF, okay? First, okay, look for GCF. Second, proceed to open parentheses. Okay. Third, okay, find factors of first, okay, first and last term. In other words, factors of x squared and then factors of the last term. All right, so that. D, okay, use smiley face method to get middle term. Okay, I'm writing big, I said you write small. All right, so this is when you want to factor. Now let me answer the second question. How do you turn it into an equation? Okay. So let's say this is 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, okay? Like that. Now the second question. So 2A, okay? How do I turn into an equation? Equal the trinomial, or the expression equal the trinomial to 0. That's how you turn into an equation. Okay. And how do you go about solving the equation? Well, that would be 3A, right? That's the other question. Well, once you equal to 0, you still follow the same process as factoring. Okay, so all this. And last but not least, you gotta equal each factor to 0. And I'm gonna give an example. If your factors are x plus 3 and x plus 2, okay, then you gotta set it equal to 0. Well, should be already equal to 0. So x plus 3 should be equal to 0. So what number plus 3 is 0? X becomes negative 3. X plus 2 equals 0. So what number plus 2 is 0? Negative 2. And that's how you do it. All right? Okay. So quiz number 22. A city is planning to build right here. Okay. So let's see now. Let's see if you got it right. So a city is planning to build a new park. The park must be equidistant from school A at 3,3 and school B at 3,-5. So the park must also be exactly 5 miles from the center of town. This sounds like the last lesson. That's funny. All right. Which is located at the origin of the coordinate graph. Each unit on the graph represents 1 mile. On the set of axes below, sketch the compound loci and label with an X all possible locations for the new park. Explain why the locations marked with X are possible locations for the park. All right. So first and foremost, you have two ordered pairs. So that's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to plot it. So 3,3. 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's right here. You've seen this before. 3, -5. 3, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. School A, school B. Okay. Now, it says that the park must be equidistant. The same distance from school A than from school B. So what is the locus of points, or what is the set of points that are the same distance or equidistant from 2 points? That is the perpendicular bisector. So the distance from A to B is 8. So half of that is 4. So I should start right here. Remember what I said. When you sketch the locus, if it's not the circle, just make sure that it's in the form of a dashed line. All right, you see it? Okay, so now it says that it must be exactly 5 miles from the center of town. Okay, 5 miles from the center of town. So I grab, oh, I messed up. I showed you the compass. I was going to ask you, but anyway. So 5 miles from a point. The point is the center, the origin is 0, 0. So that's exactly where I'm going to put my point. If he had said, it must be 5 miles from the center of the town, which is at 2,5, then you go to 2,5, and that's where you place the compass. Anyway, so what you do is you place it at 0, 0, you extend it to 5, you open it, and please don't open the compass going like this. No, like that, no. That's why you have this little wheel, otherwise you're gonna ruin it. So you go here, and this is 5. So I draw my circle, okay? Now watch this. I am not going to draw my circle with turning my hand because I'm gonna break it. So I will just move the paper. Watch me, watch me. So move the paper around, move the paper around, move the paper around. The pressure is exercised on this leg, not on this one. Okay, I don't care if it's not that dark, as long as it's a little visible and you did it right. So you see, that's my circle right there. All right then, so it says, mark with an X all possible locations for the new park. Sure. Right here and right here. Yes, right? This is equidistant from A and B, and it's also 5 miles from the center. Here is also part of the circle, so it's 5 miles, and is also on the perpendicular bisector, so therefore it's equidistant. So explain why the locations marked with X are possible locations for the park. Well, because these locations, locations let's say satisfy the criteria let's say the criteria required by the problem. Okay, the marks are the points, okay, where the two conditions are met. See, that's how you do this. That's how you write it. Don't be afraid. All right then. So until next time. Oh gosh, not until next time. There's another side to the quiz. All right, so you just do it. No problemo. You've seen this problem before. This is about parallel lines cut by a transversal, so I'm gonna help you with this. Okay, so they want what value of X would make lines M and N parallel. Well, what value of here? We've seen this before. So we talk about vertical angle. So if this is 30, this gotta be 30. This is a straight angle. So if this is 30, this is 80, that's 110, so this is 70. This angle and this angle are corresponding angles. Acute, therefore, they are congruent. So X must be 70. Okay? Good. Explain everything. How did you arrive to your result? Use what you have learned about angles and parallel lines cut by a transversal. Okay, so at this point, I would just refer back to the handout. So, first, I realized that I was missing some angles. Then line N is a straight angle. That means that it forms a straight angle, therefore its measure is 180 degrees. Then, then I utilized, the concept of corresponding angles. Same relative position. And I knew that they were congruent. So therefore, X must be 70. I don't know if I said it, but actually the first thing that I utilized was the concept of vertical angles. Okay? Just in case. Got it? So that's it. That's the end of your quiz. Make sure you write everything down. Alright, cool then. So I'll see you on the next lesson. Bye. Oh, wait. Oh, now goodbye.